and welcome back, everybody. What's going on? Today we are gonna talk about the ugly truth at work. Something that a lot of employees are forgetting, even though some of them are not, which is, and I hope I'm not gonna get too much hate for this, you are not entitled to shit. You don't deserve shit. But how are you gonna get it? How are you gonna maintain it? How are you gonna be committed? And so on, we shall discuss. It's very simple. Employment, it's a forgotten action. It's a connection between two entities. You, the employee, and the employer. The employer makes a commitment to pay you a particular wage per hour or salary, whichever the case it is, in return for a predetermined work. That is the action, the work that you are doing and or providing for a particular employer that is gonna get you paid. And the reason why a lot of employers out there, at least in the entry level, mid-level positions, are having a hard time is because there's no commitment. And what I mean by that, the commitment can be lacking from both parties. It can lack from your employer, and it can come in forms of you being promised 30 hours a week and only getting 20 or 10 or 5, or as a commitment that you will not have to work weekends and all of a sudden you are working weekends. These are just a couple of examples, and it can come from the employee in terms of, I am not gonna bust my fucking ass for $10 an hour. Well, that is where you're wrong, because you made a commitment to perform particular duties for that $10 an hour. And unless you are being asked to do something that is not really part of your contract, you have the wrong mindset if you started it, that I'm not gonna do that for $10 an hour, for $11 an hour. And if you ask me, that is a shitty attitude to have, because again, you made a commitment. When you signed that contract, nobody had a gun to your head and told you, get a job at, we're passing by McDonald's right now, or Subway, or Burger King. Oh my God, it's fast food paradise here. So nobody made you. You went to get that job, to get a part-time job for extra income, or because you're in high school, or because you're in college and you cannot have a full-time job, and you need a part-time job, or whatever the case it is. And that's why a lot of youth out there are having this attitude, and they end up being losers. And don't get me wrong, there are some out there that are gonna have this shitty attitude and have that spark and just create something out of nothing. Either it's, I don't know, a YouTube channel that gets 1 million subscribers, or any kind of business regardless of what area it is in. But the majority of them out there, and in my 8 years of employment here in the States, I have heard that a lot. I am not being paid to do that job. I don't want to do that job. That is not part of my job to do. And that is the wrong attitude. Because regardless if you wanna create a career with McDonald's, or you just work there to make a little bit of extra income, regardless of why you are at the job, you made a commitment. And you having that attitude, you are breaking your commitment in which you engaged with that employer. And then you're gonna get more frustrated and frustrated and frustrated, because believe it or not, there are a lot of managers out there, and I'm talking managers, I'm not talking about leaders. They are two different things, and we're gonna talk about it in a different video. But there's a huge difference between a manager and a leader. And just an example, a manager is gonna give direction based on a particular set of company policies, rules, and regulations, and ask for something to be done, versus a leader is gonna lead the team. Got it? The team. Something that it's important and a lot of times forgotten in the workplace. Working in a team and being dedicated to that team means a lot. So those are the two differences between a manager and a leader, or some of the two. A manager will direct and the leader will lead and work with a team. And even though there are a lot of lenient managers out there, especially in the food industry, like I worked part-time in a restaurant for, I would say, 4 years, on and off part-time, because I was spending too much money being a shopaholic and working in retail. And I mean, I like to dress, so let's just leave it at that. And I worked in a restaurant, and it blew my mind how many times I worked for a lenient manager, or a manager that just turned a blind eye on everything. But let me tell you something, even though they are turning that blind eye on things, that does not mean that they will not see a hard-working person, which definitely you are not if you say, I'm not being paid $10 an hour to do that. Then quit your fucking job and go to another job that's gonna pay you $12 an hour, $13 an hour, hell, maybe even give you dental and health, and do that stuff. And with that, we're gonna wrap it up. Thank you very much. Don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for the next video that we're gonna launch in a couple of days. Thank you.